Morning everyone, happy Saturday and welcome back to Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments with me, Helen Armstrong. I'm an independent stamming up demonstrator based in Wilmslow, Cheshire in the United Kingdom. Today is Simply Made Saturday and we're going to be making this type of card. It is a very simple card to make. All it is a card base with 2 pieces of designer series paper, a cutout for your sentiment, and you can add some dimensionals. Okay, so this one particular card was made with Hobby Haven paper, and that came in from Stamping Up back in the online exclusives in November 2025. Here are the dimensions, so if you want to take a quick screenshot, please feel free. So, just for quickness, I have already got 3 card bases made. I just need to burnish them to ensure that they're going to lie flat. So I'm just going to use my bone folder to do that. Okay, so I also have 3 sentiment pieces. And I've also pre-cut my designer series paper. So the designer series paper, we cut it at 4 centimetres and 5 centimetres at a length of 13 centimetres. I've just realised that one's not going to work, so we cut that one separately again. Okay, so I've used some of the designer series paper that we have. Need to trim that one down as well. So we'll start with our Nature's Walk. So this is Nature's Walk, and let me just check when that came, when we've had that. I think that was in our, it is in our current January to April catalogue, mini catalogue that came out. It is a beautiful suite, and I just thought actually these papers lend themselves well to, if you wanted to send a mail version of this card, it's quite nice, or those that prefer a muted, not floral, not in your face type of card. So first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to layer those on top of one another. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to stick this first, my background on, and I'm going to stick my background on at an angle. The reason that I cut it 13 centimetres is so we could get that angle on the card. Now you can angle it as much as you want, but I think I actually prefer it like that. And all we're going to do at the end will be just to trim off these little bits here. So let's put some glue on there. And remembering that I need to have it that way around. Okay, so I'm just going to, I didn't do that very well, did I? There we go. Angle it a little bit. Okay, so that's first layer. Second layer, I'm actually going to add it to dimension, going to put some dimensionals on. Now, a tip here is that when you're using dimensionals, in order to work out, have you actually taken the backing paper off, I find it easier to just use a pen, marker pen, to actually put marks on the back, so I know when I come to use it, it makes it a lot easier to see. Have I taken that backing off? Okay. Let's do maybe one more. Just there. Okay. So I'm just going to use my pokey tool to take the backing off. Those that know me, yes, I have finally got my pokey tool back. I say back. I had to order myself a new one, and those of you who watched last week will realise I actually ordered 2 because they do tend to go missing, and I don't, yeah, and it's really annoying because they're so easy, and so, you know, taking off the backing of these type of things, it just makes life so easier. Sorry, so easier, a lot easier. Okay, I'm now going to layer this over the top, ensuring that we try and have, and excuse me if my head's getting in the way, an evenish border on either side. Okay, So I'm going to leave that now, and I'm going to quickly stamp our sentiment. So I'm using the You Brighten My Day, and this is from the new Springtime Scenes, which is available to purchase from March the 3rd as part of our new online exclusive release. And it fits perfectly within the 1 3/4 or 4 centimetre circle. I didn't do that very well. Luckily, we have a second side. Much better. Okay. Put these to one side. Before I'm going to add my sentiment though, I am going to trim these off. So all I'm going to do is turn my card round, grab some scissors, and I realise I got glue on the back of it. Don't, you know, these mistakes are that I do. I make these mistakes, so you don't have to. Let's open that just to make it a little bit easier to cut. You could use a paper trimmer, but just for quickness, I am just using my scissors. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our sentiment. Again, we're going to use dimensionals to add our sentiment. We're going to need maybe 1 or 2 of the large ones. I don't know whether any of you have noticed, but I'm matching my jumper today with my nails. I seem to have I'm loving sort of like a khaki green at the moment in a colourway. Okay, so I'm adding my sentiment, and then the last thing we need to do is add some embellishments. So this particular set, the Nature's Walk, comes with, if you bought the whole set, if I just get them out, it comes with, not those ones, get the right ones out. It comes with these embellishments. Now these are brass and they're very, they are quite heavy. And they're down to faux bronze, so you could add those. I have to be honest with you, I'm not a massive fan of them, so I'm actually going to be using some of the embellishments that come as part of the Lovely Arrangements set, but you can buy them separately, obviously, and I'm going to just use some of these to pick up the colour. As I say, I do like them, but I don't know, I'm not using them as much as I maybe should do to see what we're like. Right, okay, so which ones we're going to use? Oh, I'm liking the, let me just put that back on. So I'm using my pokey tool again, just to pick up, I've got a, this has like some putty on the end, and it allows you to pick up embellishments nicely. And let's go for a little one on the sentiment itself. There seems to be a rule of thumb, which I really didn't pick up on, that I'm running out of putty. Let me get some more putty. There seems to be a rule of thumb that when it comes to, I'm not doing this very well, am I? So that when it comes to putting embellishments on cards, that you do it in threes or an odd number. So yeah, I do think it works. Okay, so that is your Simply Made Saturday card. We will quickly make another one just to see, just to show and show the differences. So I'm going to just put that one to one side, clear up a little bit from the mess I've made, and bring in our other paper. Okay, so these look like they're both 5 centimeters, so I need to trim one down to 4. Yeah, they are. Right, this is from our new product of the month. That Stampin' Up started in December. Each month they bring out a new product of the month that if you spend over £70 with Stampin' Up, for an extra £5 you get a pack of, currently it's been a pack of paper or it's been a stamp set. So in December when it came out, we had, let me just remember what it was. We had True Blue Florals, product of the month, which was a paper pack. And then we had for, if I just see if I can grab it. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Okay. So we have, in January, we had the Fabulous Sayings product of the month, which were all these wonderful sentiments you could put on a card. And this month we have Painted Illusions paper, and I love this paper. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we are going to make another card. Let me just find it. You know, I'm looking for a card base and it is right there. Okay. This time I'm actually going to raise all of my pieces up. Or do I? No, I think I'm going to stick it down. I was going to raise them all up, but I'm actually going to stick them all down and just raise my sentiment up. So which way round are we going to do it? Which way round would you do it? Would you do it that way round before I start gluing and sticking? Or would you do it that way round? I think I'm actually preferring it with the floral in the background and the main paper being the raised bit. Right, okay, let's go with that one. Yeah, so I need to ensure I'm putting glue where it needs to go. Now you don't have to use glue. Obviously you could use tape runner or our tearing tape if you fancied, or any other adhesive you fancied. Layering up the corners. Okay. And I am then just going to quickly run some glue on the back of this. Ensuring that we have it as straight as possible. Okay. Before going any further, I am going to trim this off. Those of you who've watched my videos before will know how much of a messy crafter I am. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to change. But it annoys me. It annoys me that I'm not as clean a crafter as I should be, because then having to clean up my craft room, my craft living room, my craft area takes me twice as long than it should do. Much better first time around. Okay. So we're just using the same sentiment as we used before. Adding it on. Excuse me. Adding it on, and then we'll add some dimension. We will then add some embellishments. So this particular paper, let me just have a look. So the Painted Illusion, it the colours on it are, we have petal pink, we have petal pink, we have flirty flamingo, we also have, I think it is darling duckling, we've got balmy blue, we've got lost lagoon, and we've got granny apple green as well. There's quite a few colours within this suite, within this paper, that you can choose from to add things to it. So I would, if you have ordered or are going to make an order with Stampin' Up, and your order is near £70, I would add a little bit extra to get you over that £70 mark, to then pick up the product of the month for an extra £5. You will also get obviously your extra rewards. Stampin' Up give you 10% back in rewards on whatever you spend, which you can then put against another order. So I think it's a really good thing to do. I'm just now deciding what embellishments we need to put on this one. Okay, look. I think I might actually just pick up that yellow. So this is Darling Duckling. I'm just gonna have one last check to see whether I think we have, yeah, we do. We have, this one is Strawberry Slush. So I'm actually gonna, I think, what would you use? Would you use the yellow or pick up the pink? I'm actually gonna pick up the pink. Yeah, pick up the pink. So I'm gonna put one there, one up here. Pick up a medium size one. Just there, I think. Yep, just there. All right, so let's clear it out the way so you can see everything. So here we go, Simply Made Saturday. Cards made very, very quickly, very easily, but they do, I think, look very effective. If you can tell me what you think in the comments, and if you would like to like and subscribe, that also helps me make these videos. If you'd also like to go over to Facebook and have a look at Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments, and also I do have a website, pandrapops.com. All right, have a good rest of your day, enjoy the weekend, and happy crafting, everybody. Thanks, bye.